Shouldn't affect soon. Shouldn't affect soon. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. They are finishing their exams next week. They are finishing their exams next week. Don't I care? Don't I care? This is his jacket. This is his jacket. He will buy a new house. He will buy a new house. They eat healthy food every day. They eat healthy food every day. Is her daughter a paramedic? Is her daughter a paramedic? Weekly decided? Weekly decided? It wasn't the vote. It wasn't the vote. Was our stepson a pie player? Was our stepson a pie player? Doesn't he explain at noon? Doesn't he explain at noon? I will travel to Europe next month. I will travel to Europe next month. After a month, I can't bother. After a month, I can't bother. Your nephew was an air traffic controller. Your nephew was an air traffic controller. We can't laugh after 1 month. We can't laugh after 1 month. Can't drive after 5 seconds? Can't drive after 5 seconds? Inside. Inside. What I did. What I did. Usually not clear? Usually not clear? You don't need to buy a new dress for the party. Wear something you already have. You don't need to buy a new dress for the party. Wear something you already have. Was it noticed? Was it noticed? How many pieces of luggage will you have? How many pieces of luggage will you have? Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. His wife was a bus driver. His wife was a bus driver. I couldn't meet. I couldn't meet. I have to skip the other meeting, thanks. I have to skip the other meeting, thanks. You can use my computer. You can use my computer. It was not borrowed. It was not borrowed. After this difficult conversation, he felt exhausted. After this difficult conversation, he felt exhausted. All my secrets. All my secrets. We have to finish before the time runs out. We have to finish before the time runs out. I'll be a lieutenant at dawn. I'll be a lieutenant at dawn. I can leave you if you want. I can leave you if you want. His cousins were bakers. His cousins were bakers. Aware. Aware. Do we not improve from time to time? Do we not improve from time to time? Without. Without. I will meet my friends later. I will meet my friends later. Was my colleague a salesperson? Was my colleague a salesperson? I'm in the room next to you. I'm in the room next to you. He will work on his project all night. He will work on his project all night. Can't they handle? Can't they handle? The legacy of their success will always be remembered. The legacy of their success will always be remembered. Your mother is the chief. Your mother is the chief. Is his friend a geographer? Is his friend a geographer? Can't it cause this every year? Can't it cause this every year? The analysis shows that the company is profitable. The analysis shows that the company is profitable. Must refuse. Must refuse. Rarely cry. Rarely cry. Our nephew is an ironer. Our nephew is an ironer. We look every month. We look every month. Cats sleep a lot. Cats sleep a lot. I studied Spanish in high school. I studied Spanish in high school. Shouldn't they be reported? Shouldn't they be reported? His cousins were civil engineers. His cousins were civil engineers. The choir will rehearse for their concert tomorrow night. The choir will rehearse for their concert tomorrow night. Should he do 2 landscaping in the afternoon? Should he do 2 landscaping in the afternoon? Couldn't last 2 weeks. Couldn't last 2 weeks. Your half-brother is a stockbroker. Your half-brother is a stockbroker. I am going to have breakfast. I am going to have breakfast. Shall we always produce? Shall we always produce? Was our stepdaughter the curator? Was our stepdaughter the curator? Your colleague is an optician. Your colleague is an optician. The park will be closed for maintenance. The park will be closed for maintenance. Will he not object then? Will he not object then? You should not exercise after 4 weeks. You should not exercise after 4 weeks. Do you have a fever? Do you have a fever? Let me know if you need to talk. Let me know if you need to talk. The company is looking for a new customer service manager. The company is looking for a new customer service manager. Please guide me. Please guide me. In 5 years I will be living in New York. In 5 years I will be living in New York. The book is very long, it will take some time to finish. The book is very long, it will take some time to finish. We were hungry so we ordered pizza. We were hungry so we ordered pizza. But you need a social security number, we have to account for it. But you need a social security number, we have to account for it. He will play football with his friends tomorrow. He will play football with his friends tomorrow. He won't leave until he's done. He won't leave until he's done. Not every week. Not every week. Is my daughter a lifeguard? Is my daughter a lifeguard? Can't they teach now? Can't they teach now? They may not reflect after one evening. They may not reflect after one evening. Wouldn't he watch the sun rise? Wouldn't he watch the sun rise? I thought you could help me. I thought you could help me. Don't they invade later in the morning? Don't they invade later in the morning? Art. Her sisters were educators. Her sisters were educators. I'm in the shower room. I'm in the shower room. I usually sit at the front of the bus. I usually sit at the front of the bus. My son was a hydrologist. My son was a hydrologist. Should we strictly follow these guidelines? Should we strictly follow these guidelines? He was training his basketball skills. He was training his basketball skills. Can she do gymnastics for 10 years? Can she do gymnastics for 10 years? The beach is beautiful. The beach is beautiful. Later I will meet my friends for coffee. Later I will meet my friends for coffee. They were swimming in the pool on a hot summer day. They were swimming in the pool on a hot summer day. Don't they dance at noon? Don't they dance at noon? I like to go for a walk in the park on sunny days. I like to go for a walk in the park on sunny days. I can't save often. I can't save often. Can't do an anesthetic at noon? Can't do an anesthetic at noon? Where will you do it? Where will you do it? Can he become a pathologist after 2 years? Can he become a pathologist after 2 years? Confidently. Confidently. Would not clear 10 years. Would not clear 10 years. He was watching a movie while eating popcorn. He was watching a movie while eating popcorn. I could hear the sound of the waves crashing against the shore. I could hear the sound of the waves crashing against the shore. We may not change weekly. We may not change weekly. My mother will come to us. My mother will come to us. His half-brother is a sailor. His half-brother is a sailor. Won't he be a congressman by sunset? Won't he be a congressman by sunset? International relations are shaped by economic, political and cultural factors. International relations are shaped by economic, political and cultural factors. I don't want to lose my destiny. I don't want to lose my destiny. Wouldn't you believe next year? Wouldn't you believe next year? You can lie next year. You can lie next year. They are your sisters. They are your sisters. Usually not accepted. Usually not accepted. Has it improved every week? Has it improved every week? Your half-brother is a lawyer. Your half-brother is a lawyer. Avoid overspending and save for emergencies. Avoid overspending and save for emergencies. He is an engineer and designs new technologies. He is an engineer and designs new technologies. Can't we be judges in 4 weeks? Can't we be judges in 4 weeks? I've already watched that TV show. I've already watched that TV show. 2 weeks you will be important. 2 weeks you will be important. Where will we get the result? Where will we get the result? Wouldn't there be a sportscaster every month? Wouldn't there be a sportscaster every month? Shouldn't it normally impose? Shouldn't it normally impose? I'm in a room with 2 windows. I'm in a room with 2 windows. Didn't they realize? Didn't they realize? Do you travel a lot? Do you travel a lot? He played guitar for years before joining a band. He played guitar for years before joining a band. I have a big brick house. I have a big brick house. How much is a kilo of apples? How much is a kilo of apples? They rarely think. They rarely think. Elephants are larger than dogs. Elephants are larger than dogs. Let's say, he wrote at noon. He wrote at noon. January is the first month of the year. January is the first month of the year. By this time next year, I will have finished my degree. By this time next year, I will have finished my degree. You can't fish often. You can't fish often. They age in the twilight. They age in the twilight. We do not have much time. We do not have much time. Product specifications were insufficient to meet customer demands. Product specifications were insufficient to meet customer demands. They may not talk after 2 weeks. They may not talk after 2 weeks. Sorry, all our rooms face the parking lot. Sorry, all our rooms face the parking lot. Our half-brother was an entrepreneur. Our half-brother was an entrepreneur. There has been a lot of growth in the tech industry. There has been a lot of growth in the tech industry. Give up. Give up. Was his half-brother a baker? Was his half-brother a baker? Will they be babysitting every 2 weeks? Will they be babysitting every 2 weeks? In the evening he will be learning a new language. In the evening he will be learning a new language. The amount payable is due next month. The amount payable is due next month. I will travel to Europe next month. I will travel to Europe next month. Astronaut after 1 midnight. Astronaut after 1 midnight. The beach is beautiful. The beach is beautiful. Did you complete it? Did you complete it? His stepson cameraman. His stepson cameraman. He will be a barber in 1 week. He will be a barber in 1 week. Should he then split the 2 evenings? Should he then split the 2 evenings? I have no idea where he went. I have no idea where he went. Then I have to take it out. Then I have to take it out. Both options have their drawbacks. Both options have their drawbacks. You can then include it. You can then include it. My colleague was a spy. My colleague was a spy. You should not use your phone while driving. You should not use your phone while driving. If you want, I will go to school. If you want, I will go to school. Did he get a sheriff every month? Did he get a sheriff every month? Aren't they Rangers a century later? Aren't they Rangers a century later? I have to go to bed early tonight. I have to go to bed early tonight. He has been running for the marathon for months. He has been running for the marathon for months. The legacy of the explorers' discoveries has reshaped geography. The legacy of the explorers' discoveries has reshaped geography. Is your son a bishop? Is your son a bishop? Grandfather is operator. Grandfather is operator. The movie was so sad, it made me cry. The movie was so sad, it made me cry. The overflow of emotion was overwhelming. The overflow of emotion was overwhelming. Swipe all your other photos while showing only one. Swipe all your other photos while showing only one. Can you lend me a pen, please? Can you lend me a pen, please? His mother was a firefighter. His mother was a firefighter. I'd be back in 5 minutes. I'd be back in 5 minutes. Are there grandchildren sailors? Are there grandchildren sailors? His stepfather is a preacher. His stepfather is a preacher. How much money do I have? How much money do I have? His half-brother was a negotiator. His half-brother was a negotiator. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything. Should count every day. Should count every day. On Mark's team. On Mark's team. I need help with this math problem. I need help with this math problem. Can't I race car driver after 2 hours? Can't I race car driver after 2 hours? I need 3 pens. Can you lend me the blacks? I need 3 pens. Can you lend me the blacks? Justice. Justice. You can come later. You can come later. I sat there for hours, letting the world around me disappear. I sat there for hours, letting the world around me disappear. The castle was built in the middle of the 13th century. The castle was built in the middle of the 13th century. I would ask from time to time. I would ask from time to time. Reconcile. Reconcile. Should we work overtime to meet the deadline? Should we work overtime to meet the deadline? She is knitting a scarf. She is knitting a scarf. Can you remind me of the meeting time and place? Can you remind me of the meeting time and place? Designer at sunset? Designer at sunset? He will lay the pipe at dawn. He will lay the pipe at dawn. Can't compare next year? Can't compare next year? How much does a slice of pizza cost? How much does a slice of pizza cost?